All right, let's jump straight into this explainer. Today, we're unpacking a really fascinating concept: how ultra-high net worth portfolio stewards can achieve a completely friction-free week away from their luxury assets. It's called the 7-Day Disconnect Protocol. Look, if you're managing premium real estate, you already know the stakes are incredibly high. But today, we're focusing on the actual architecture of absolute operational detachment.
You really got to ask yourself this crucial question right out of the gate. Are you managing an asset, or are you just working a 24/7 job? Because the harsh reality of this industry is, if your multi-million-dollar property falls apart, or if your phone starts blowing up with panic texts the absolute second you go offline, well, you don't actually own an asset. What you own is a really exhausting, high-stakes hospitality job.
The contrast here is just wild, right? You have this stunning, serene physical real estate, beautiful floor-to-ceiling windows, absolute perfection on the outside, but absolute behind-the-scenes chaos on the inside for the owners. The fact is, a high-value asset demands high-level governance, not just a beautiful view.
We call this the luxury ownership paradox. It's that trap of treating high-yield real estate like some reactive, manual side hustle. You know, an owner might have a fully booked calendar, which looks amazing on paper, but they're constantly fielding panicked 11 p.m. maintenance calls because a smart lock jammed or the pool is cold. Ultimately, you're sacrificing your own personal time and severely bleeding your net operating income. So here's our game plan for today. We'll cover absolute operational detachment, logistical synchronization, a fun one called the squirrel paradox, and finally, re-entering the scale engine. Let's get to it.
Starting off with Pillar 1, absolute operational detachment.
This right here is the absolute game changer. We are talking about making the leap from amateur commodity hosting to true institutional asset governance. Amateur hosting relies on reactive panic. You're literally tied to your phone, discounting nights just to drive volume. Asset governance, though, that utilizes pre-configured corporate safety modes. It is completely proactive, heavily automated, and relentlessly optimized for yield. So how do we actually do this? You set up what's called an autonomous triage matrix. Think of it like a giant digital funnel. You group all your digital locks, hardware sensors, and platform messages into one centralized cloud dashboard. Then, you cleanly route all that data to a vetted, NDA-bound remote team. The beauty of this whole system is that a low-level, minor issue never, ever reaches your personal phone. 60 seconds. Just think about that number for a second. By utilizing bespoke AI co-hosting tools integrated directly into your messaging APIs, your system can accurately resolve complex guest inquiries across over 90 different languages in under a minute. It acts like an invisible manager, completely protecting your algorithmic platform ranking and your superhost status while you are literally asleep.
But it's not just AI. You also enforce strict automation webhooks within your property management system. This handles all the routine stuff, like check-in validations and traveler updates, completely on autopilot. Plus, it deploys highly profitable, frictionless concierge upsells. Imagine offering a private chef or a late checkout at the exact right moment, driving incredible ancillary revenue without a single keystroke from you.
All right, moving right along to Pillar 2, logical synchronization. When you step away for a week, you need mathematical certainty that harbor turnovers are happening flawlessly. You have to completely replace abstract human management with hard data. Specialized field vendors complete these comprehensive visual checklists, capturing every single designer finish and premium appliance. They upload it all directly to a cloud repository, maintaining an unyielding baseline of asset appreciation. You don't just guess if the property is perfect, you literally have the data proving it. And it all runs on these incredible API-driven triggers. The exact second a guest punches in their departure code on the smart lock, bam! Secure APIs automatically dispatch your specialized local cleaning teams. They provide photograph-validated quality audits, and once verified, the system autonomously initiates vendor payouts. The administrative friction is just completely gone. This is exactly how you defeat what's known as micro-inventory entrapment. Picture a massive 6-bedroom villa during a really tight 4-hour turnover. Let's say a previous guest moved a $300 designer floor lamp. Your elite teams use iPads loaded with a 3D Matterport scan, a literal digital twin of the property, to instantly cross-reference the exact position of every high-value asset, right down to the espresso spoons. It removes every ounce of ambiguity. 5%. That is a massive number in this space. Without these automated audits and proactive interventions, a high-end property can hemorrhage up to 5% of its equity value every single year. And this isn't from market dips. This is just silent, totally preventable physical wear and tear. You know, a small indoor frame jamming a lock, or a failing pool heater that quietly destroys your premium positioning. Which brings us to our next concept.
Which brings us to a really fascinating reality check. The squirrel paradox.
I absolutely love this quote. You can API call a lock, but you cannot API call a squirrel stuffing walnuts into your HVAC vent. It's so true, right? It's the great equalizer. Software is basically magic, but it cannot fix a bloated wooden door frame, a busted pipe, or a jammed exhaust vent. You absolutely have to have physical contingencies in place.
So how do we bridge this gap between the digital and the physical without ruining your vacation? You set up capital preservation escrow funds. Protecting your physical infrastructure means pre-authorizing a dedicated emergency maintenance line item with a trusted NDA-bound local vendor network.
Let me walk you through how this IoT to escrow pipeline actually works in real life. Imagine a tiny thermal sensor catches a half-degree temperature creep in your HVAC blower bearing. Your computerized maintenance system catches it instantly, autonomously generates a work order, and uses that escrow fund to dispatch a vendor. They swap out a $50 part during a Tuesday vacancy, entirely preventing a catastrophic failure that ruins a $10,000 holiday booking on a Saturday. That is invisible management at its absolute finest.
Finally, we arrive at Pillar 3, re-entering the scale engine.
The golden rule when you come back from your 7 days offline is absolute. Zero administrative catch-up. You do not come back from vacation to read a backlog of guest text messages or process vendor invoices. You return exclusively to high-level strategic scaling and wealth preservation structures.
Instead of diving into granular chaos, you sit down with a crystal-clear weekly scorecard. You're tracking high-level institutional metrics. You check gross RevPAR across the portfolio to gauge revenue yield. You verify net operating margins per asset to ensure profitability, and you review automated hardware health logs from your IoT sensors to make sure preventative maintenance is right on track.
This whole system is designed to protect what we call your cognitive capital. By leveraging existing digital assets, like pre-recorded authority videos, to keep your professional outreach going while you are away, you effectively isolate your creative energy from daily chores. Your focus stays completely locked on discovering undervalued premium assets and expanding that portfolio.
Because at the end of the day, the core philosophy here is simple. True luxury isn't just about an infinity pool or marble countertops. True luxury is the rational certainty of your investment. It is the absolute invisibility of the complex, autonomous systems working tirelessly in the background to guarantee everything remains perfectly flawless while you don't even have to think about it. So I'll leave you with this final, provocative thought to chew on. Take a hard look at your own operations today. Are you ready to stop babysitting your building? What piece of your multi-million-dollar asset is still dangerously dependent on your manual midnight intervention? It might just be time to upgrade your operational architecture.